Hey everyone, how did you get along with that challenge, huh? Hope you were able to do pretty well on it. I'll show you what I ended up with. I'm going to click on my starships here, and you can see here that we have all of the properties. I went ahead and included everything that the vehicle had, and then also added the class and the hyperdrive rating, all right? And then as you can see, you can toggle through the starships just like with the vehicles. All right, so hopefully you were able to figure that out on your own. If not, that's all right. Go ahead and check out the source code at the end. All right, but right now what we're doing is we are at the beginning of the end. We are going to finish up our Films view controller. Probably not all in this video, but yeah, we're close to the end here. All right, so let's get started. I'm gonna start out here in our storyboard. Well, actually, we need to know what we're going to be adding here. So let's go ahead and open up Swappy again. And let's find, if you do films, and then maybe like 3. And what do we got? We got Return of the Jedi. Nice. All right, so we have title, the episode ID, the opening crawl, director, and producer, and when it was released. So let's go ahead and do those 6 or 7 properties, okay? All right, and we're going to be doing some of the same stuff we've been doing. This one's gonna be just a little bit different, which is why I'm gonna go through it with you. But the first bit is gonna be the same. We're gonna create ourselves some stack views. So I'm gonna get some labels here, and let's go ahead and copy that, holding Option. And then I'm gonna grab both of those, select their property attributes, change the color to white, and change the font to a custom font. And the family is, of course, Star Jedi. And we'll go ahead and leave it like that. We're gonna say done. And then I'm gonna pull this out. And let's see here. Oh, come on. All right, I'm gonna grab both of those and embed it in a stack view. And then let's take a look at the stack view. That's good. It's already got the correct spacing, finally, of 8. And this is going to be title. And don't forget the colon. And then I'm going to go ahead and give this a dash dash. And then we're going to take this stack view, and I'm going to hold Option. I'm going to drag again, and again, and then one more time. All right, so we have 5 stack views here. The next one here, this is going to be episode. And I forgot the colon again. The next one is going to be the director, colon. This one is going to be the producer, colon. And this one is going to be the release date. So I'm going to say released. Very good. Then I'm going to go through and I'm going to select all 5 of these labels from the document outline here on the left, and we're going to give those width constraints. We can give all 5 of them a width at the same time, and it will provide the width that it currently is. So I'm going to say add 5 constraints, and I think that looks pretty good. Now let's go ahead and grab all 5 stack views, and we're going to embed that in a stack view. Very good. And then we are going to embed this stack view in a view. And then let's go ahead and change the background color to our semi-transparent black background. And then let's go ahead and add in our previous and our next buttons next before we do anything else. And you'll see why here in just a second. So I'm going to pull in a button here, and let's go ahead and change the font to be custom, and the family is going to be Star Jedi. Very good. And say done. And let's bump that up a little bit to maybe 20 for the font size, and then change the text color to white. And then let's go ahead and copy this. I'm going to hold Option and drag over here. And then let's go ahead and constrain this. This is going to be 20 from the left, 20 from the bottom. This one is going to be 20 from the right and 20 from the bottom. Very good. All right, so this is previous and this is next. All right, great. So in all of the other ones that we did before, what we did is we constrained this main view to the center and give it a height constraint. What we're going to do with this one is, since we have the crawl, and what we can do is we're just going to go ahead and we're going to constrain it from the left, from the right, and then we're going to constrain it 20 from the bottom, or 20 from the top of these buttons down here, and then we're going to constrain it to the bottom of the films label by maybe something like 40. There we go, that looks pretty good. And then what we're going to do is we are going to add our text view right here for our crawl, okay? And so let's go ahead and search for that. That is a text view, okay? So this displays multiple lines of editable text and sends an action message to a target object when return is tapped. We're just interested in the multiple lines and being scrollable. Since the crawl is pretty long, we're going to need a way for it to be able to display the whole thing. So I'm going to drag this text view here, and I'm going to go ahead and constrain it 20 from the top, left, 20 from the right, and 20 from the bottom. And then we are getting red lines because our main stack view here is not constrained yet. So I'm going to say 20 from the left, top, and right. And that looks real good. One thing that we're going to need to do is change the alignment, I believe. I think we want fill. Let's see how that looks. Yep, there we go. That is the one we want. All right, perfect. Everything is blue. Everything is well constrained. Very good. All right, so now you'll see how this text view works. We have all of this text and we can scroll it. I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of all of this. And then we're going to set the background. Well, first we gotta set the text color to white. Let's change the font to custom, change the family to Star Jedi. Style is regular. Size, we'll see if 17 is okay. We don't want it to be editable or selectable. We just want it to be displayed. And then let's go ahead and change the background to clear color. There we go. All right, that's looking great. Now let's go ahead and hook up all of our IB outlets and actions. I'm gonna go ahead and open up our Starships VC in the assistant editor by holding Option and clicking on Starships VC. Oh, I'm sorry, we want the Films VC. Films VC, here we go. I'm gonna delete this comment here, everything here, and let's start adding this. All right, so I'm gonna hold, selecting the title label here, I'm gonna hold Control and drag, and this is our title label, connect. Next up we have the episode. So I'm gonna say episode label, connect. Then we have the director. So I'm gonna say director label, connect, producer, control and drag, producer, label, and connect. And then finally the released. So this is going to be released, label, and connect. All right, and then I'm going to cheat. I'm going to go ahead and grab the functions that we created for the next and previous. I'm going to grab those from our vehicles VC. So if I just scroll down here, I can go ahead and just grab the set button state and our previous clicked all the way up to these IB actions here. So I'm going to copy that. Then I'm going to go back to our Films VC, and I'm going to scroll down here a little bit, and I'm going to just paste that. And then let's go ahead and get rid of some of the stuff that we don't have in there yet. But what we need to do is we need to first have outlets for our previous and next buttons. So I'm going to scroll back up to the top, get our previous, control and drag. This is our previous button, and connect. Get next and next button and connect. Very good. So now that should be working out just fine. We have a few other things that we're going to need to add later on. So I'm just going to go ahead and delete all of that. but we have our previous clicked and next clicked actions here. All right, I'm gonna close our assistant editor and let's check out our Films VC in full screen here. Make sure we got everything. Looks like we do. We have our IB actions, we have our IB outlets. Oh, one thing that we did miss is we don't have the crawl text view. So I'm gonna open back up our storyboard in our assistant editor and select our text view right here and control and drag. And this is going to be our crawl text, and we'll call it crawl label. And that is an outlet. Okay. And then one thing down here, you'll notice that I didn't add these using control and drag. But what we can do is when you type it out, like we could just type these out as is. In fact, let me show you that real quick. I'm not sure if you have learned that yet, but we can see at IB outlet, we can just type this out, weak var, and we called this next button of type UI button, right? And then what I can do is I can control and drag from here all the way over to here. And that's the same thing as doing the control drag that we've been doing. Now let me make sure I didn't mess anything up here. Next button. Okay, looks like we're still good. All right, so what we're gonna do with these previous clicked is I'm gonna click on this little circle here and just drag over. You don't need to control drag or anything, just click and drag. All right, so now this one is hooked up. And then another way of doing it is once you have this or this in your view controller file, you can hook it up from the storyboard like this. So Films VC, if you click right here, right click, then you'll see all of these outlets and actions, and you can see here next clicked. So this is in the view controller, but it's not hooked up yet. So if you click on this little circle and then drag over to the button that you want to assign the action to and let go, then you will say which one of these you want. Touch up inside is the default one. So I'm gonna say touch up inside, and now that's hooked up as well. All right, great. So we have all of our UI set up. We have our title, episode, etc. We have our text view crawl here. We have our buttons and their IB actions all set up as well. So in the next lesson, what we're gonna do is create our structure, create our API class, call it in our view controller file, and then update all of our UI. All right, so I will see you in the next one.